people, how are you doing? I hope you're doing fine. In this class today, we are talking about the connection between music and language. And this connection to me is very clear, right? And because music is also a language, right? And for example, in language, sometimes you must have a rhythm, harmony, melody also, mainly here in Salvador, And I'm gonna show you this connection, right? Many artists talk about this connection. I'm gonna name some of them in this class. I'm also will talk about favorite music, favorite style, musical instruments, and things like that. Okay, and I hope you like the class. Bye.
Hello, people. How are you doing? I hope you're doing fine. Today, we are going to talk about music and language, right? And I will put to you some links. Um, I will put three links to you. The first one is the music video from the song "Drop Like It's Hot." Is a Snoopy Doggy Dogg song. The second one is an interview with a band named Altin Gün. It's a Dutch band that plays Turkish psychedelic rock, right? And the interview is made by Merv, the singer, and Jasper, the bass player. And if you see in the background, other members of the band are make some fun. And the other one is a girl named Nandy Bushell. She's in this video. She's around 9 years old, and she's playing the song "No One Knows" from the Queens of the Stone Age. Uh, is a rock group, right? And she's having a blast, as you can see, right? So these videos, I'm showing you to illustrate what you're gonna discuss, the connection between music and language. First of all, it's interesting for us to get a definition of music, right? Uh, we will not get too much philosophical about it because if we go like that, this class is gonna have 15 hours, right? So we try to be more precise. So music is an art form and a cultural activity, sound organized in time, and this definition is very interesting because being a musician for most of my life, nowadays I notice that music, the connection of music and mathematics, right? For example, you can play. There's no problem to play a wrong note, to sing a wrong note. But if you play in the wrong time, if you sing the wrong time, maybe you are doing, people will understand as another song. Okay, so rhythm is the basic thing for music, right? And of course, it's divided in melody, harmony, and rhythm. So melody are the notes you are doing, right? Harmony is related to the way these notes connect to each other, and the rhythm is the pace of the music. Uh, then you also have dynamics, timbre, texture, and all of these you can create different styles, right? By using a large range of instruments. And when you talk about voice, you can go from singing to rapping. Nowadays we have this mumble rap. You have singers, for example, like this girl, uh, Billie Eilish, that she sings like she has just waken up, right? And then you have singers like Freddie Mercury, Ian Gillan from Deep Purple, they scream the balls out, right? It's not that one is better than the other. Each one has its values, right? So the definition, actually the etymology of the word music means the art of muses. So if you're a musician, you need a muse to get inspired. Not necessarily a woman, a person. It can be an idea, it can be an object, whatever, right? For example, Paul McCartney, he made a song called Martha, My Dear, and the song is about his bitch, the animal, I mean, right? And also, there's another song he made called "Got to Get You Into My Life," and it's not about a person; it's about marijuana, because at that time he was just in love with marijuana, and he made a song about her. And it's not a woman; it's a thing. Okay, so here are some questions that you can make to yourself. And for example, what's the best style for working out? So, is there any type of song or band that you like to listen when you are working out? Me, for instance, I don't work out a lot, but when I try to work out, I like to listen to ACDC, Ramones, like energetic stuff. What's the best style for sleeping or relaxing? So, in my case, I love to listen to Pink Floyd or New Age music like Enya or some electronic music like Jean-Michel Jarre. Uh, I don't like to sleep or relax listening to very rhythmical music. I like more ambience music for that. What's the best style for a romantic dinner? So you go with your partner to a restaurant and they say, the waiter said to you, okay, you can choose the song or the songs or the artist you want to listen to, right? So of course, it depends on the couple that is going to a romantic dinner. If I have a girlfriend that likes heavy metal, probably I would be married to her. But if we go to a romantic dinner with her, we would put some Megadeth, some Metallica, some Sepultura, some heavy stuff. No, is there any style that you hate? A style that you hate? Why? So, is there any type of music, style of music that you can't stand? For example, when I was younger, I hate, I hated bossa nova because it was too uh, weak for me, and I really hate um, João Gilberto singing because it was like sleep singing, right? But for example, nowadays I love because now I understand what they wanted to do at that time. Nowadays, actually, there is no style that I hate actually because even sertanojo or funk, Brazilian funk, because now I understand what people are trying to do. It's not about hate. I just don't listen to. Is there any style that you love? Why? Right? And also give the reason as I'm giving here. Right? So the style that I love, I have two: heavy metal and hip hop. You and I love them. Heavy metal I love because it's the music for people, for the misfits, right? And hip hop is also the music for misfits, but hip hop has something that get me even closer, because it's a type of music developed by black people, and it's also because you don't need too much to do a hip hop song. This is why I put to you this song "Drop Like It's Hot," because if you listen to the music, uh, the rhythms are due by sprays, mouth percussion. There's just some keyboards, some drums. So it's basic stuff. No, you don't need an orchestra to sing over it. Which are your top three artists or bands? This question is always a trick, but I will say right now what I think when it comes to my mind. Nowadays, my top three artists are, I would say, bands that it's better, it's broader. Um, it's a band named Body Count from the United States. Uh, Chico Science e Nação Zumbi is a band from Pernambuco. And Altin Gün, that is this Dutch band that plays Turkish psychedelic music. Can you sing any song from top to bottom? Which one? Um Nowadays, um, it's really difficult to sing a song from top to bottom. But let me think. Okay. I have many easy songs I can sing from top to bottom. But the interesting thing is to sing like a long song. I don't know, like Bohemian Rhapsody or Faroeste Caboclo from Legion Urbana. Uh, but nowadays, for example, I sing a song called um, uh, I sing many songs from top to bottom, but the problem is to remember them. And when you are out of context, it's really weird. If I'm in a concert, I remember all the lyrics. For example, nowadays, in the moment I remember now, there's a song called Miséria S.A. from a band named Rapa. I know the song from top to bottom, but the song is pretty easy, right? It's not difficult. And the second verse is the repetition for the first verse, right? Okay, so here in this picture, you see the share of total music album consumption now. So when people used to bought CDs and things like that, uh, this is the share of total music album consumption in the United States. And there's interesting things to show that in the 21st century, it was the first time when rock and roll was defeated by was beaten by hip hop. So 21st century is the century when hip hop took the first place in the most heard type of music in the world, not just in the United States. This graphic is about the United States, but all around the world you see people listen to hip hop. So it took the place of rock and roll. Here, uh, as we're talking about hip hop, there are some artists on, and you see in the top left is a guy named Bussy, and he's doing what people call the money phone. So he's a kind of rapper that it's more connected to this showing off of money, jewels, and things like that. In the top right, that an MC named Lord Jamar from a band called Brain Nubian. And instead of use money to make the phone, he put some books to make the phone. He's an artist that is more related to intellectual showing off. So don't show me how much money you have. Show me how many books have you read, right? And it's interesting because you can see the title of the books, you know? And I even want to look for some of them. In the bottom left, we have Immortal Technique, that and he's an MC from he's from Latin America, right? Uh, and he went to the United States, and now he became huge, and he's very interesting too, you know. And in the bottom right is Mos Def, right? I think he changed his name now because he became Muslim, and when you become Muslim, you change your name, right? And Mos Def is also a very smart MC, and he's very peculiar. He had a problem recently in South Africa, but he's really great, really great. And some people said that he looked like me, you know. I don't think too much. Okay, here in this picture is interesting because I'm playing. Okay, this is a frame of my YouTube page. In my YouTube page, I have some videos talking, playing guitar, doing a lot of things. And I had this video when I play guitar to a Prodigy song named Poison, and I got a reply that it was I thought it was too much exaggerate, right? But I just thanked the guy, but I thought it was too much, right? I play good, but come on, easy, bro. Here are some devices to listen to music, right? You have in the top left a gramophone. You have in the middle a cassette tape. You have in the top right a CD player. You have in the left, in the bottom left, a turntable. And actually, you have two turntables that was commonly used by DJs in hip hop music. And in the right, you have an MP3 player, the first ones that had that appear in the market. And I remember I had one of these, but I lost it because I was listening to music. I don't remember exactly what I was listening, but I was so pumped up for the song that I went in the beach. I was in the beach. I went in the sea with the MP3 player, and I think you know what happened. This is the um, parts of an acoustic guitar, right? And you can read it briefly later. You can read deeply later, and I talk briefly about it. But for example, it's really interesting when you talk about parts of instruments because, for example, the part that English speaking people used to call neck, we call braço, right? So this is the metaphors that there are used to identify parts of the of instrument. No? So it can be different from culture to culture, as it is most of the time. And here are the parts of a drum kit. And it's interesting to say to some people. Some people think a drum kit is an instrument, but actually it's not. This is why the name is drum kit. It's a kit. The drum kit is an orchestra. Is a percussion orchestra. So each limb you use to play it, you play a different instrument. Because before the drum kit was put together, each individual play one piece of it. One play the snare, another play the cymbals, one play the tone, another play the hi-hat, whatever, right? And now we have just one person playing using the four limbs, sometimes even the head, like this guy named Mike Portnoy from the Dream Theater sometimes use the head to hit the crash cymbals. Okay, some connections between music and language, and you can read deeply before, but I'll give briefly the idea. So both are forms of social bonding, right? So most of the times you speak a language and you play music with some people, right? Okay, you can speak by yourself, you can play by yourself, but is the most common is uh, to be a social event. Musicians process music as language, right? So if you play an instrument, when you're gonna deal with language, your approach is kind of similar to the approach you have to the instrument, right? And it's interesting because, for example, I had experiences of playing with people that who do not talk English or talk Brazilian Portuguese, so they talk their language, I talk my language, but we could communicate by playing music. People remember music in the same way as speech, right? So music and language they are related also to our brain structure. So to remember a speech, to remember a song, it deals with the same area of the brain. And music helps you your grammar and vocabulary. And this is very interesting because Not just it helps when you read some lyrics because you can get the grammar and vocabulary for the lyrics, but also because it made you your brain works in the same way, right? Uh, and it's really interesting when you learn an instrument or a second language in a very early age, right? But it doesn't mean that when you are older you will not get it, right? Because we have examples that older people learn languages and learn to play instruments. So, what is your favorite musical style? Who is your favorite new artist band? Why do you like them? And who is the GOAT, the greatest of all time? Right. So, about favorite musical style, I already said to me is heavy metal and hip hop. My favorite new artist and band is Altin Gün, this band that you see here in the picture. Why do you like them? I like them because I'm very into old music and I'm not very into running for new stuff. But a friend said to me, man, he sent me a message from Facebook, said, man, I know you love crazy music. I'm sending this band, this Dutch band that play Turkish psychedelic rock. When I heard the first record name On, I just fell in love uh, straightly, you know? And it is really interesting, this thing about music, because I tried to convince some friends to listen to Altin Gün, and none of them is paying too much attention. But last year, Altin Gün was last year? No, this year, 2020. Altin Gün was named for the Grammys, I guess, as a international band or foreign band, something like that. Who is the GOAT? That's the 1 million $1 million right? I could say Michael Jackson is the obvious answer, but there are too many, man. It's really difficult. But I will stay with Michael Jackson for a while. And here we have some questions that is interesting exercise to do to reply all of them, right? And I will do a brief comment about some of them, right? So, how music is important in your life, right? You're gonna tell the importance of music in your life. What are the songs you remember as a child? So, those first songs came to your mind when you were 4 or 5 years old. What was the soundtrack of your childhood? Styles, bands, songs, singers. For example, in my case, I had a very um, peculiar childhood about concerning about music, because around 5 years old I was a Kiss fan. So I was into hard rock, heavy metal, and things like that at very early age, right? Of course, I like some pop music too, like Michael Jackson, Terence Trent D'Arby, Duran Duran. But I was very into rock and roll and heavy metal at a very early age. How different is your taste from then to now? So, how different is your taste when you were a kid and your taste now? What was the best concert you attend? The band, the place, the day? I had attended so many concerts, um, but the best, it's a very good question. This one. What was the worst concert you attend? So this is another great question too, because sometimes you go to see a band you like, but the concert's not good. You know, it can happen too. Did you know any lyric of a song in English? What is it about? So check if you know the contents of some song in English and if you understand what is said over there. What is the song you are fed up of listening? So there are many songs that are, you know, bothering us. So is there any song that you say, no, 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 don't play this again, I'm gonna kill you? What is your opinion on love songs? So some people has a critical opinion about love songs. Some people say they are not connected to reality, but what is your opinion? Have you ever sang in public? How was the experience? So describe the experience of singing in public. So uh, if you had this experience, of course. What is the instrument you would love to play? So is there anything you would like to play that you don't play yet? Who is your favorite musician? Describe. So describe your favorite musician. Who is your favorite singer? Describe both of them, right? What is your favorite musical style? What is your favorite band? Have you ever sent a message to an idol? So, if you have a musical idol, have you ever sent a message uh, by Instagram or any other tool that you got have you got the reply from this idol? I have some stories, but I'll tell later. Have you ever met an idol? How was it? So this is also interesting because I came from Salvador. In Salvador, we have a lot of people, artists coming here, artists from here, artists coming here. So it's not difficult to meet some interesting person from the cultural area, right? So this is our class for today. I hope you enjoyed and listen to some music, good music, and not just listen, but play it too. Write your own songs, sing them, record them, and we never know what can happen, right? Kisses and hugs. Bye, people.